Alright, so today we're going to be looking at the Ruger P85. We'll start by making sure that this pistol is unloaded. As you can see, it is. So, what is the Ruger P85? This is a double action, single action, 9mm. It's got an aluminum alloy frame, steel slide, stainless steel barrel. These came out in 1985. Ruger actually designed them to compete for the U.S. military handgun trial. The design wasn't ready quite in time. So the Beretta ended up winning the U.S. military pistol trials. But these came out very soon after in 1985. And this was the first of the Ruger P-series guns. There's a lot of them. P89 was after this, and then there's a 94, 95. I mean, they go on and on. But the P85 was the first one. Now this is a 9mm. It is double action. You pull the trigger and the hammer cock, and then after the first shot and that slide cycles, every follow-up shot's going to be single action. You can also carry it with the hammer down and one in the chamber. So if you rack one into the chamber, your safety here is also a decocker. So it decocks the hammer, and then you flip it back up onto fire mode, and now you've got one in the chamber, and then you've got a double action pull if you need it. Now, these come with these black plastic grips. They feel pretty good. Right here you can see the sights. There's 2 dots on the back and one on the front. Sights are pretty small, but they work okay. Now this has actually got some pretty interesting features for a pistol from 1985. It's pretty much fully ambidextrous besides the side stop. You've got the magazine release is actually a push forward to release the magazine, and it's on both sides. You can see how it's kind of connected there. And then you've got your safety decocker, which is on both sides. And an interesting thing that you need to know about these, there was a recall on some of the early P85s. Apparently if the firing pin broke, then you could have a situation where whenever you decocked it, it could set off a round in the chamber. So if you're shopping for a P85, first thing you need to look for is on the safety. See if it's marked, if it's stamped with the, if I can get it to focus, Mark II. Right there. That lets you know that this pistol has been upgraded to the modern style safety that won't have that problem. If it doesn't have it on either side of the safety, then some of the later ones actually say it on the slide, Ruger P85 Mark II. So that's one thing that's important to keep in mind when you're looking at these P85s. You need to look for that Mark II somewhere. I'm not sure if Ruger will still update them if they haven't been updated yet. It wouldn't surprise me if they did, but I'm just not sure. Now they did make these in blued and stainless. This one, as you can see, is a blued model. Stainless ones are pretty nice also. I'd like to have one someday. Now they do come with a 15 round magazine. I believe there are some 17 round magazines out there for them, but this one's got the 15 round magazine. Now the best part about these guns, number one, they're super tough. Number two, they're super simple. These are really easy to take apart. Start obviously by making sure that it's unloaded. And it is. So what you want to do is lock the slide back, and down inside this little lever right here. Now I would recommend holding up on the slide stop just to make sure it doesn't slam on your finger. But this little lever, you want to flip it down and it'll stick out like that. Once that's done, you can let the slide down, and even if it's on fire, the hammer should fall. So now that you're in this state, you just want to pull the slide back just a little, and while you're doing that, you want to push on this little knob right here, and it will bring the slide stop out. Now the slide stop is captured, so it can only come out that far. Whoops. Once you've got that, let the slide down slow, and it'll just come right off. You're done with the frame. And then right here, all you've got is your spring and guide rod. Just comes out. Sometimes mine likes to stick in there a little bit, but that just pulls out, and then your barrel will just pull right out the rear. And there's that stainless barrel. Then to reassemble, it's just the exact opposite. Just drop that barrel in there, and it helps if you get it to sit down right there in the ejection port. Take the spring, get it started, and then it should sit right there. So once you have that, just put your slide back on your frame, pull it back just a little bit, push that slide stop back in, you're ready to go. Now there's that lever in there. You've got two options for what you can do with that, because your hammer won't stay cocked until you close that lever. You can either lock the slide open and reach down in there and flip it up, or just put in an empty magazine, flips it back up, and as you can see, we're back in business. Now, these also come with a lanyard loop on the grip, which I like. And overall, they're just a really sturdy pistol, very tough, very simple. I would be impressed if somebody could break one of these things. I mean, there's just not a lot to go wrong with them. And like I said, I think there are 17 round magazines out there for these. I only have the 15 round magazine, but I do believe that there are some 17 round magazines for them out there. So another good thing about these is that they really are not expensive, at least right now. As of the time that I'm filming this, you can find these for pretty good deals, around the $300 range. If you're looking for something like this and you see one, I can definitely recommend it as a good gun. I mean, they shoot good. We're gonna go outside and shoot this one and see how it does, but overall these are just great guns, and if you come across a good deal on one, I wouldn't hesitate to pick it up. Alright, so we got the Ruger P85. We're going to be shooting at that steel plate right there. First shot is going to be double action. All the follow-up shots are going to be single action. Let's see how it shoots. P85, I'd say it shoots pretty dang good. As you can see, it did lock open after the last round. So as you can see, the Ruger P85 shot very well. We are unloaded again, but it shoots good. It's easy to shoot. There's not a lot of recoil because it's a pretty big, I mean, this is not a small gun. This is a nice big gun, and it's not super light either, and so that causes there to be very little recoil. It's very easy to shoot well, and I think most people will find it, the accuracy will be perfectly adequate for their needs. And if you see one, pick it up. Can't go wrong with one of the Ruger P-Series guns. Thanks.